Alright guys, today I have a small video for you guys, and this is like an educational video. So here's the axle that I took out of our car. This axle, every time the customer turns, it makes a click 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 noise. Alright, so on a sharp turn, it made a noise for click 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 inside the internal of these axles, especially on this side right here. This is where your hub goes on. This is the ABS or relector wheel. So usually on this side, the mechanism inside, it has a small little rares and tears. So it's like a little rollers inside. When you're turning, they go click 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 click. So if you're buying a rebuilt axle, not a good idea. Don't buy a rebuilt axle, because they'll change the boots. There's no point of changing the boots nowadays. You just replace the axle. It's a hell of a job just to replace the boots. Alright guys, so we're not replacing the boot. Alright, so that's old school stuff. You can replace the boot. That will prevent seals from coming out, axle grease from coming out. But the wear and tear inside here, you cannot fix that. You gotta buy a new axle, buy a brand new one, not a rebuild. Alright, so the video, what I'm doing this is on if you come on this side right here, this has a bearing here, right? This came off a 2002 Toyota Sienna. I noticed how I've been having a very difficult time with these axles. I changed a lot of them, and every time I come across axle, this is on the passenger side, so every time I come across one of these axles, this bearing is not gonna come out. Alright, let's wait till this cleaner goes away. Alright, he's gone. Almost gone. Alright guys, so to remove this axle, you gotta get this bearing out of it, and this is part of it. This is connected to it. So I did something this time, and I was not gonna struggle this time. I did struggle, but then I came up with a plan. Every time I get one of these axles, labor is not gonna be cheap, but this is how I'm gonna do it. That's the reason why it's not gonna be cheap. Alright, so this axle is probably got like a little retainer ring that goes over here. You take that off. There's a number 14 bolt right under the bracket. There's a bracket mounted here. All the Toyotas, the right side axle has it. So you take off the bolt, you take out the retainer. This thing does not want to come out. If you can see here, I beat the hell out of this axle. The number 14 bolt I took out, I put a bigger bolt in it, and I went right through it. This race broke, but this bearing still did not come out. I heated this damn thing. I did all kinds of things, and I even hammered it here with the air hammer. I hammered it here, did not come out. Right? If you put a pry bar in there, all you're doing is you're making it go crooked. It still does not want to come out. So it took me 20 minutes after that. 20-30 minutes maybe, no more than that. I used my air cutoff tool here. What I did was, this end of the axle goes into the transmission. Alright, so what I did was I spliced it here and I spliced it here. I kept on turning it around and around, and I got all around. This side eventually broke off here, and then what I did was, after that you could see this is bent a little bit. I bent this a little bit, and then I had an axis right here, and I hammered the crap out of it back out. Right, not a big deal. So next time I get one of these axles, that's how I'm gonna do it. No other way. This is the only way. I'm gonna splice it. The reason why I spliced two here is because this piece would have come out, and then you could have had just, once this piece is eliminated, you could have just slide this out of the transmission. And try not to hammer this after you cut it a little bit. I bent this a little bit because you're gonna damage the transmission. Don't do that. It should softly just fall out. After that, you should be able to wiggle it and break it off. But once it breaks off, you take a hammer, you hit it right here, and this axle comes right out. Right? So instead of you struggling doing all this crazy stuff, just cut this off. It's gonna take you 20-30 minutes or more than that, and just bang it out of there. And that's how you're gonna do axle on most of these cars. But there's a couple of times when I put the number 14 in here and I cracked this, axle came out very easily. But this one, Not so easy, man. If you can see, it's all rusted in there, corroded. That thing did not want to come out, alright guys? So if you like my video, please subscribe. If you need help, let me know. If you got questions, comment please. And but most definitely do share my videos and subscribe with your friends. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. That's a seat axle from Toyota Sienna 2002, and there's a bracket there. If you're doing like an earlier model, like a, let's say 2007 Toyota Camry, it has a small bracket here. You could, there's like 3 bolts on that bracket. You could comfortably slide this whole axle with the bracket out. But this Sienna, it had a big bracket, and it had a mount. So that thing was not gonna come out, all right? If I try to take out the mount and everything, that would have been a hell of a job. But anyway, thank you for watching my video, and subscribe, guys. Bye-bye.